what are the major key lessons that you have learned from those moments of solitude?
To be honest, not be hard on yourself. To not be hard on yourself. It also helped me understand that, you know, there's a quote I live by, when moonrise is your time, and it's from a BTS lyric. I should have it tattooed on my wrist. And it helps me understand that you're going to go through that darkness. Everyone is.
Yep.
Rather what their darkness is, you're going to have a moment in life where you need to accept it because it's going to happen. And it's something that makes you you. But at the end of the day, there will be a light. And when that light is there, you use that and you take advantage of it. So it helped me understand that I needed that to appreciate myself. That was my take from it.
So you're discovering yourself because of it.
All over again.
Yeah.
All over again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like a rebirth.
Like a rebirth.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this question, this follow-up question to the separation part. When it was time to confront these situations, you know, with your dad, and this is psychological things, it's not just physical things. The confrontation, you're still dealing with your grandmother. You mentioned about how your relationship with your mother has improved leaps and bounds.
Yeah.
But confronting things about your individual selves, like that idea that you're a failure, those things, what have you learned from that as well?
Ooh, that's a good question. Confronting those things. What have I learned? Can I say I'm still learning?
Absolutely. We all are.
That's the honestly, I think that's the answer most people would give to that, because you never really stop learning.
Yeah, I feel like because I'm still, I don't know. I feel like because I'm still rebuilding. I don't know. I can give a full answer to that. I feel like at this point in my life, because I went through those things and I'm trying to balance those things and realize where I'm at. I'm still learning. I'm still learning how to cope. I'm still learning the best way to handle it. And it's not easy. And I do things like I listen to inspirational quotes or inspirational speeches. I do that kind of thing. I'm still learning ways to scale back, to not get back to that moment.
And those are ways that you confront these things. You fill yourself with positive energy when you're talking about quotes and positive music and things like that. That's a way of confronting.
That was the way of me confronting it. And then like doing things that make me feel happy, simple things.
Excellent.
Like taking care of yourself.
Yeah. And I got into makeup. Like I like makeup or I used to do like nail art, like those type of things. I'm going back to being creative.
Yes.
Because that's something I had stopped doing for a while.
Okay.
But now I'm back there. I'm back being my creative self.
Okay.
And some people don't even realize like I'm that creative till they see it. Like I remember when we had the pandemic and they put me in art. And I had to make videos for art. I remember the director was like, "You're actually really good at this stuff." I was like, "Yeah, I am." He was like, "Were you into art?" I was like, "Yeah, in the past." And he was like, "Huh, you ever thought about being like an art teacher?" I'm like, "No, I can't teach nobody else, but I can do it."
You could do it, yes.
And that's so funny because I've seen some of the stuff that you've done. Yeah. And you're very creative, like for Halloween and things like that, which is crazy.
Yeah, people was like, "I didn't know, like," and it was like, "Well, who did your makeup?" I did.
Yeah.
Like I went to doing things that I ended up loving again. I ended up becoming more of a kid. I'm learning to love myself because I realized as a kid I kind of grew up a lot because I seen things.
You've seen so much.
I seen so much. Not saying I didn't have a good childhood. I had a great childhood. You know, I just saw a lot of things and I didn't realize at the time it was traumatic, but it was. Yeah. And I took on more than what I should have as a kid. Yeah. So now I'm back being goofy. Yeah. I'm back being like silly, doing kid-like things. And I even have my mom say, "You need to grow up." Like I am grown, but I'm more.
You're not losing that.
I'm more of
you're connected. To
I'm more a kid adult.
Yeah. You know that actually leads me into the integration part, right? Yeah. Because the integration is you go through all these things. And there's things that you incorporate, that you integrate into your life, you know, and that childlike idea of creativity, of being able to do things, just that impulse to create something It's one of the things that you've learned.
Yeah.
That subconsciously doesn't really you don't think that it's like that, but that's part of the rebirth. It's the idea of having a space to be creative. Mm-hmm. It may seem insignificant to people because again, we're measuring things only primarily on financial gain, but just to be creative, just for the sake of being creative, obviously something that brings you joy.
Yeah, it does.
So in addition to that, what else do you feel that you have incorporated and integrated into your life now after going through your quest up to this point?
I'm learning to not question myself, the self-doubt thing. And I really learned that because someone else on the outside told me, I can see that you have that. And he's like, you're holding yourself back. He's like, you have all the skills to be a good leader, but you hold yourself back. And once he told me that, I was like, you know what, you're right. So now I'm at the process of where I'm learning to recognize all the good that I do. I'm learning to kind of push myself a little bit to learn new things. And again, I'm back being a kid. Yeah. I do kid-like things.
I love it. I love it when we go through this SKR process because it's crazy how when we talk about these things, you end up going to the next topic that we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
Because basically what you're saying is that you have developed this level of, or you're developing, because I think we're always developing, constant, right? We're always in flux, that you're becoming aware of these behaviors
I had,
or that are negative for you, that you are aware of.
Yeah.
And so talk to us about that, like being that awareness, and how that's helping you to grow. And
it's helping me a lot. It helped me a lot.
Is it helping you with your confidence?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
It is. And then I'm doing things to better myself. Like now I have a friend who mom's a trainer. I met with her to work on my physical. So now my physical is better. It's improved a lot.
Nice.
Mentally, I do things, I talk to myself. I know that sounds bad, but like I talk to myself.
You know that's a sign of genius?
Someone else said that.
Yes, it is.
Someone else said that.
Omar talks to himself all the time.
I'm not a genius though. I'm crazy.
I'm not a genius. Even though I had one of my ex-boyfriends told me, he's like, I believe you're like super smart, but you don't want to admit it that you're super smart because it's a weird way how you always answer things. Like he used to give me all these quizzes, and he's like, how you know all this stuff? He's like, but I don't think I'm a genius. But yeah. So at this point, I'm just going with the flow of life and living through things, and I'm learning to appreciate. And I think another reason why I learned how to appreciate things more is because I lost someone. I lost my god grandmother.
Oh, okay.
And that was like a big bam towards me. Like at that time, I questioned Jesus one more time, because he took her right when I was coming out of my darkness. He took her right there. And I after I had used her as an escape.
Yeah.
And I can say her name. Her name is Linda. Linda Valali. Lindy Lou.
Lindy Lou.
Shout out to her. I miss her. But he took her right when I was involving and getting out of my darkness. And after I used her for kind of like an scapegoat, and she didn't mind. But I didn't get a chance to celebrate it with her.
No.
Like she didn't get a chance to see this growth.
Yeah.
This me prospering. And so then I realized life is too short to harbor on certain things.
Yeah.
So now I'm in the process of just going with the flow and learning.
That's also something that's interesting in the hero's journey, right? It's that those mentors, those people that really are there for us. Most of the times they're not there all the time.
Yeah.
And that's hard to accept, but it's just a reality.
Yeah.
But while they were there, they were so integral and important to our lives,
Yeah.
And just like you said, it's like, wow, I wish you would have seen me where I am right now.
Oh my God.
Right?
I was just having that conversation with my mom because she been gone for I think about 2 or 3 years now. 2 years, I think. And then but her immediate family just released the ashes. And I remember I cried all over again. And I was like, why am I crying? Because it's the fact that she's officially let go.
Yeah.
And she's officially gone. And I know she's looking over me. And I still have, this might sound right, I still have full conversations with her. I still talk to her as if she's here because I needed that. I need that. I need to feel like she's here sometimes. And but with her, with losing her, it just helped me understand that I gotta value who I am and what I have.
Yeah,
because once it's gone, it is gone.
It's gone.
And you don't get that back.
Yeah.
So now I learned that life is precious, and I'm glad I didn't do what I thought I was gonna do. I'm glad I had people around me to talk me out of it, and then I'm glad that I'm able to tell. Because after I came out my darkness, I finally revealed to my mother how I was feeling and all that, and she kept saying I knew something was up, but I didn't could put my finger on it.
Yeah.
And so now everything is more of just appreciating everything.
Yeah.
And growing and learning.
What are the next steps to you? Because you have to, the last part of Ski Art is that you have to return. You have to continue to live. You have to continue to exist, even after the understanding that ultimately this all will end too.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on all that? On how you want to put, how do you want to continue to live your life with the understanding that this will eventually end too?
So I don't fear death.
Okay.
I'm gonna say that right now. I don't.
Why? Why don't you fear death?
Death is the natural way of life. We all can't stay here, because if we would stay here, the world would be overpopulated.
That's a good point. Most people don't think that, right? But it's true. It's absolutely where we all gotta go.
Can you imagine?
But I think what it is we're just so comfortable in knowing that we have our loved ones and stuff. But for me, I don't fear death. I feel like death is actually only the beginning. I feel like your soul has a whole nother life. And not to get all theory and all that other stuff, but I feel like, like I said, death is only the beginning. I know that's a Mummy Returns or Mummy quote, but it is.
You know what's ironic? I was actually watching The Mummy Return last night.
But yeah, that's one of their quotes, and it's true, because you have another life to live after death, whether it's heaven or hell or in a main reincarnation of void. It is what it is. For me, I just want to make sure that I'm impacting somebody, because a lot of people say you leave your legacy through kids and all that stuff, and I don't feel like that's true. Like I feel like
when you mean kids, you mean your biological kids?
Your biological kids and stuff. I feel like that's not the only way I could leave a legacy. I feel like I leave a legacy through people, connecting with people and helping people and just leaving some type of an imprint. I feel like that's how I leave my legacy, and I realized, just live my life to the fullest. Don't regret everything, because we all make mistakes. We all, but at this moment and the way the world is, you need to just cherish everything, especially now. The pandemic taught me something totally new. We're losing people left and right because of this pandemic. And it also brings things into perspective. The things we took for granted.
Right.
Actually going outside and breathing air.
Yeah.
Did y'all realize that? We took a lot of things for granted. A lot of things we didn't realize, standing in line.
Yeah. We missed that.
You missed it. I lost a concert, people. A concert.
So that's what this is really about.
Yes.
It's a good point. It's a good point.
But no, it's a lot of things we really took for granted. So now I'm in the process of learning to appreciate what I have, where I'm going and what I'm doing. And to not sweat everything. And